we're still having the judges out here disregard the people's wishes, and we just kind of have to bring these public servants back into line with what they're doing. I'm having a hard time getting to my paper. And the section that I want to get to. Does anybody remember the definition of what a pirate is? Can you bring that forward and tell everybody while I find my paperwork? Who can remember what being a pirate is?
Would it be someone acting without a license?
Well, it's more than that. They are indeed acting without a license, and that's true because nobody has any licenses. They only have certificates that such an animal exists. I think I found my paper finally at the very bottom. But the pirate is a little bit more than just not having a license. As soon as I can get to it here, I'll tell you exactly what it is so that we can talk about it. All right. Being a pirate is someone who commits violations on the seas and or who takes any authority over one of the people under the color of any commission from any foreign prince or state on the pretense that that person has authority over the other person. So if you take your public agencies and your public agents and they claim, well, you have to follow their rules and regulations, you have to just accept what they tell you, they're saying that we have authority from somebody else to claim that you have to do what we say. Most of that authority we know comes from a foreign prince or state or entity of some sort that has nothing to do with the people.
Really?
So when these agents and agencies come after you on the pretense that they have authority from somebody else over you, they act as a pirate.
Maria?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry, a quick question. What's an example of one of these foreign princes or principalities or whatever state?
Say that again?
Well, what's an example of?
An example would be an attorney.
Well,
we know that they're members of a communistic party, the Bar Association. We know the Bar Association is originated, the British Regency Accreditation, British Regency Accreditation is what Bar, that's not what it stands for. British Accreditation Regency, BAR.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're deriving their authority from England some way, somehow. But that authority was never intended or meant to be held over the people. So when these individuals bring their piracy on shore, because that's what they're doing, they're pirating your rights, your property, your person, and claiming they have the authority to do so from some commission elsewhere from the people. That is exactly what a pirate is. And the penalty for being a pirate, as stated in Title 18, Part 2, Chapter 81, Section 1652, states that they shall be imprisoned for life. Doesn't give any other remedy. Doesn't give any choice. It's only one. If you go down under Section 1658, the plunder of a distressed vessel, and you read that one with, again, the same impunity as being on the high seas or attempting to destroy a vessel, such as the people, they shall be imprisoned not more than 10 years, and can be imprisoned for life. So these are very serious charges when you consider in their piracy that they're pirating, they're committing terrorism, as Rod was saying on Friday and Saturday night, they're racketeering, they're doing dereliction of duties and incompetency of a public servant, they're failing to perform where they should, they're committing fraudulent banking practices, they're depriving people of rights under the color of law. They're depriving a relief benefits and discrimination under color of law. They cannot do this. This is what will land them when they come ashore and they commit robbery ashore, as indicated in 1661. Anybody, whoever, being engaged in any piratical cruise or enterprise, or being of the crew of any piratical vessel, lands from such vessel and commits such robbery on shore, is a pirate and shall be imprisoned for life. That is under Chapter 1661. So we have chapters starting with 1602, I think it was, we said the other night, clear through
60, I think.
1660. Comments or questions?
Yeah, where are you reading from?
I'm reading from Title 18, Part 2, under chapters 1650 to 1660.
Thank you.
You will find all those laws, and I included these in our emergency notices that we were sending out. We let the mortgage companies and we let the judges know that they were participating in a scheme or artifice to defraud. Now, the term scheme or artifice to defraud is a scheme or an artifice to deprive another of the intangible rights of honest services. And under that comes mail fraud, which is a criminal offense of using mails or interstate wires to create or in furtherance of a scheme or artifice to fraud for obtaining money or property by means of false or fraudulent pretenses. That is under 18 USCA Section 1341 and 1343. When you're in court and the judge says you're in a bankruptcy court and the judge says property was sold, I'm going to lift the stay. You have to come right back at that judge in those proceedings and tell on the record that that judge has left the bench, is acting as the attorney for the mortgage company's attorney, and has committed fraud upon the court, relieving himself of any chance of immunity, and looking at being a pirate engaged in a piratical enterprise. If you are in bankruptcy court, you simply need to tell the judge, we will take care of this in an adversary hearing. I am charging you with fraud upon the court, acting as a pirate engaged in a piratical enterprise. Have a nice day.